In the previous video I talked about different keys and sharps and flats on the keyboard. In this video I'm going to show you about chords that are in a song or in a particular key and relate this to the piano. Let's have a look. Now we're going to deal in the key of C major. What does this mean? Well, there are 6 main chords in a major key. They're chords and they're labelled 1 to 6 with large Roman numerals for major chords and small ones for minor. Now I've got C major, D minor, E minor, F, G and A minor. So many of these are open chords on guitar, and a guitarist who's just picking up a guitar will probably know these chords, but not necessarily how they fit together. Now, for a particular key, we've got C, there is a scale that goes with this, and that is the scale of C major. So if I look at the other camera here, you can see that that scale uses just the white notes on the piano. Looking back to C then, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor. That's how this works. You've got C, D minor, E minor, F, G and A minor. Notice I'm not using the word major, minor. It's quite a similar sounding word and it can get a little bit confusing. Now the first chord is always a major chord. So is the 4th one and the 5th one. The 2nd, 3rd and 6th are minor. So we've got chord 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And on the piano you can have the same shape and just move between these keys. However, it sounds a bit weird if you're just darting around this same shape, and the answer is that the chords in it, the notes in any of these chords can be in any order. I could take the C, which is this one, and put it up an octave but retain the other 2 notes. I could do that again, and once again brings me back to where I started but just an octave up instead. So if we look on guitar, the chord of C, ideally you're using 5 strings, not 6. You don't want this. The bass note really has to be the note that the chord is called. So a C chord needs to have a C at the bottom. That's how it works on the piano. D minor is only 4 notes, 4 strings on the guitar, from the 4th string to the 1st string. So we end up with this. So our first chord of C was this, and D minor was this. E minor has got all 6 strings. F major on the guitar is a bar version of E, so I just move up on the piano like that. Chord 5, which is G major, or G, it's a slightly different spacing of notes, but you can see on the piano that it's basically a combination of 3 notes. There's G's, 2 B's and a D. And then A minor is 5 strings again. And that's how this works on the piano. Now, if I change the key, now guitarists will do this with a capo, for example. You can just put a capo across at 2. If I put a capo across at 2nd fret, I end up with the key of D major. I'm going to use my index finger just to illustrate the capo. So my C chord moves up 2 frets. So I have D, E minor, F sharp minor, G, A, and B minor. The chords, they have some sharps in. You know, there's F sharp minor. Well, where does that come from? If we look back to the piano, you have a C major scale. If I start on D, I have to use some black notes on the piano in order to make it sound the same, sound right, sound a major scale. So the chord of D major, the key of D major, has got two sharps in it, an F sharp and a C sharp. That's where your F sharp minor comes from. So we've got D, E minor, F sharp minor, G, A, and B minor. So I've had to use the F sharp and C sharp wherever I am. When I'm ascending the keyboard with those chords, you have to make sure that all Fs and Cs are sharps instead. There are 12 major keys, so it's just necessary to learn a couple in order to start getting a grip on the theory between this and this.